Hello everyone, welcome back to Passion Projects. Today we're going to be doing the 1000 YouTube subscriber Q&A special. Today I'm going to be going around all of Greenville, my hometown, showing you some coffee shops and answering different questions all over the city and just taking you on a journey. For anyone curious where I am, this is Bridgeway Station. It is in Malden, South Carolina, and it is just an absolute place that is turning into a real downtown. For Greenville Triumph, our local soccer team, they are actually building a stadium for them right there. So I love this place. All right, we've made it to our first location where we're going to answer some questions. So yeah, all right, Lisa asked, where do you live? And I am actually from, as you will find out more of, I am from Greenville, South Carolina, in the upstate of South Carolina. Born and raised here, and yeah, I love this place. I absolutely love this place, and I think anyone that wants to come check it out should. I'm going to show you some downtown later, so you'll definitely like that. And Bob Simpson asked, how did I come up with passion projects? And that's a fantastic question. I have answered it on the pod before, but I haven't talked about it in a little while. I have been waiting and praying for an idea to come to me for some type of podcast or long-form content that I wanted to do, and I've been waiting for a long time. It's been on my mind for forever to do something like this. And one day I was just sitting in Waffle House and the term passion projects just popped in my head. And you know, passion projects is a popular term, like people say it, but for some reason that time when it popped in my head, it had a different meaning than it had ever had another time I'd heard it before. I instantly heard that, and it gave me the concept for what you're watching, for what this is. Yeah, so that's pretty special. It was just a random God moment where I just felt very led to pursue this. So Yathod Rashwa, sorry if I butchered that, wants to know, what college did you go to? And I went to a very small university in Johnson City, Tennessee. It's called Milligan University, just up over there in the mountains. Very, very pretty campus, very pretty place to be, very awesome part of the country where I made some of the best friends of my entire life that I still see a lot today. How I actually figured out about Milligan is my mom actually went there in the 80s, and when I was looking at colleges my senior year of high school, she was just like, hey, let's go check out Milligan, see if you like it. I was like, sure, why not? What do I have to lose? I haven't loved any other campus yet. And we went, and I fell in love with the campus, and they offered me a cross-country and track scholarship, which covered a decent chunk of the tuition, so that really helped, and yeah, that was the reason why I went there. So Milligan University. So Sideman Highlights wants to know, what course did you take at university? And I guess by that he means major, I think. So I actually was originally going to be a teacher. I was going to be an education major, and I was an education major for 3 years. My whole life I'd wanted to be a teacher. I grew up that way, wanted to be a teacher, and then COVID happened, amongst other things, and my heart was just not feeling led to teach anymore. So going into my senior year, I dropped that as my major and finished out with enough history credits, because I was going to be a history teacher, history major. I ended up being a history major. So yeah, my degree is in history. Isn't that crazy? Which leads me to the question by JL Mafia, what is your fiance's name? And simply put, my fiance's name is Abby. And how happy would I be if I hit 10K before the wedding? That would be insane. That's only 4 months from now, so that would be a lot of growth to see in 4 months. I'd be pretty happy with that. Keeping in theme with the romantic life questions, I actually had two people. I had two people ask me, what would you name your first child? Why? Why do you want to? I mean, I'll tell you, but what made you think that? You know? Personally, I have always wanted to name my first boy Daniel. I've been blessed enough to have a boy one day, Daniel. So Abby and I have talked about that. We would name the boy Daniel, and then Yeah, actually, I'll leave the other one a little anonymous. That's one she wanted to have, so I'll let that one be a little anonymous for what a girl name would be. But yeah, for a boy, I've always wanted Daniel, and I think that's what we're gonna do. So, and then last question here: what is your favorite food that people think is controversial? And the only thing that really came to mind when I was thinking through this is every time I go on the Disney cruise with my family. And I think it's the French Garden or something like that. That dining room that night, they have escargot, they have snail, and I've only ever had it on the Disney cruise, but it is one of my favorite foods on the planet. I love escargot, and that I would think a lot of you would find controversial. But yeah, it's one of my favorite foods. It's one that I love if I can get my hands on. But all right, let's head to the next place.
You walked in and I thought, here we go. One look and I am all but so.
And HK Gaming wants to know if I like F1 and if so, who my favorite driver is. And I'm sorry, HK, I do not watch F1. I think it's a really, really cool sport. That is a sweet sport. All that's pretty cool. But I guess Mario Andretti, is that a racer? Is that one? If so, he's my favorite, okay? Lisa wants to know, Messi or CR7? And I must say, I think CR7 is one of the greatest footballers of all time, 100%. I think he's on anyone's top 5 list. I think he's the second greatest player of all time. However, Messi is just Messi. Like you're not gonna outcompete Messi. Like Ronaldo is so good, and if it wasn't for Messi, he may be the best footballer ever. But because of Messi, he isn't. But yeah, I cannot believe some of the stuff Messi does. It blows my mind. I'll go back and watch highlights of his from 15 years ago, and I've seen it 20 times. I've been like, I didn't know you could do that with a ball at your feet. So that's a long-winded way of saying Messi over CR7. I would answer another question here, but they make these freaking hallways skinny, so you gotta be on a perch. You gotta be looking. We'll be back. So after graduating college by the skin of my teeth, I came back to Greenville, and ever since then have been working, and always in a sales job. Which has seemed to be a really good foundation for me to learn and grow and learn how to talk to people. Because people, and this is really going to be at the heart of your question, people is really always what I've been interested in. I've always been interested in getting to know people and being helpful and interactive with them in a positive way. And I think that's what this channel is trying to do, just more centralized towards typically what an artist or a creative person would be. So my life journey has honestly culminated into what you're watching right now of just learning how to love people better. So if there's anything I could tell you, it would just be take interest in people, because you never, ever, ever know someone's story, but not only that, how their story could impact you and what you could do with that. It's a small world, and you don't realize that until you have more of those conversations.
I'm gonna save the pink wall story for another day, but I can promise you there is a story there. And you want to know, do I still plan on doing YouTube after I pay off my debt? And 100% yes. I want this to be my full-time job, and I have a lot of plans for the channel. Yeah, you're gonna be seeing me for a long time, don't worry.
You walked in and I thought, here we go.
I literally love this place so much. I mean, look at downtown Greenville. Isn't this just the greatest?
Suddenly you're all I see. The situation, it gets me frustrated. It's all in my.
Alright, and we're now heading to one of my favorite places in all of Greenville. It's called Coffee Underground, and yeah, you can see why. Gotta go down there.
I know it's just a crush.
Alright, so welcome to Coffee Underground. Yeah, this is one of my favorite places to come. I'm sure if you're from Greenville, you absolutely do know of this place. One more question from Shirayu. Do you think taking risks is worth it? And the short answer is yes. The long answer is yes. Yes, selectively. Like yes, but it needs to be an informed risk. that also like isn't just stupid, you know? Like there's a line where taking a risk is just like just dumb, you know? Like it's just not the right decision. Like it's not always the best thing to take risks, but I think in most scenarios, if you take the jump of what you're trying to do, I think that kind of risk is probably worth it. Like in a lot of scenarios, like I wouldn't just tell anyone starting social media to quit their job and go full time into it. That just isn't gonna work. That doesn't make sense, you know. But maybe if you spend 6 months saving away extra money, so that you can have like I don't know $15,000 in the bank and live off of that, so you can spend 4 months like just grinding social media to try to like you took a risk, a calculated risk. Like it made more sense that way, you know. Don't just do dumb things just because you want to. Do dumb things that make sense. Can you give me the most valuable lesson life taught you? And I think the most valuable lesson life taught me is that it won't happen the way you expect it to. And I think that's really helpful, especially when you're younger, because you have all these hopes and dreams of what your life will look like and play out to be. But then as you age a little bit, you'll start to see how your expectations typically match your best dreams as opposed to your lived reality. Like, I'm definitely a big believer in everyone should try as hard as they can to do as well as they can in life and make something of themselves. But you won't always get your dreams to come true, and that's okay. And sometimes, especially with big goals, it's just your dreams take longer to get than what you may expect, and it might not look the way you expect it. But I think having that knowledge definitely changes the way you look at it. So yeah, that's what I would say. So to kind of piggyback off my question from earlier, Lauren wants to know what is your long-term goal or plan for your social media career? And I kind of look at that in like a threefold answer. Right now, I do passion projects, the Passion Projects podcast, where I post these short form videos that y'all are loving. Then I also post podcasts and podcast clips. The podcast is the first layer of this whole passion projects thing. I want to build that up, grow that, have a pretty big audience as well as the short form videos that I'm making or something like this. And then I also want to build a website where people or artists can come and design things and share their ideas and share what they have. And I would like for graphic artists to have the ability to design merch and then also make a percentage of the revenue of the sale of that merch and have some kind of like contest for that. Basically, I want to create a giant hub for where any artist can come and feel at home and share their work and monetize their work, regardless of whether or not they're a 8-year-old beginner, a 20-year-old beginner, a 40-year-old, a 40-year-old professional, whatever it may be, and whatever you do, I want to make that happen. So I'm thinking podcast, then website, then app, like a social media passion projects app for artists. That's kind of what I see. And then Flame is to Blame asked, who is your favorite person? And without a shadow of a doubt, that is my fiance Abby. My best friend, my rock, the person I go to for everything, the person I love the most. Just, yeah, Abby. That's an easy choice. I hope one day y'all can see, or y'all can also experience, if you don't already, what it's like to just be in love with your best friend, because I'm in love with my best friend. She is all the better parts of me and so much more. But yeah, that's my favorite person, is Abby. And welcome to the library. Fun fact, this hog right here actually means that we are sister cities with Sydney, Australia. So isn't that pretty cool? I mean, look at this little guy. Look at him go. It's so cool. Ooh, that's delicious. Alright, y'all, we are now on to our final destination of Methodical Coffee. This is one of my absolute favorite places to just come hang out during the day, and I can't wait to answer some questions in here. I just got my little hot cocoa from here. Look how freaking cute this is. Look at that. All right, Liz wants to know, what's a habit that changed your life for the better that you wish more people tried? And I've been trying to think about how I want to answer this, and what I really came up with is, it's not really one habit that changes your life. There is no one thing that's going to make like this 10x, tenfold difference in your life. It is make it. I guess I could boil it down to a habit would be like learning that every single decision is its own independent decision. Like, you have the ability to make an independent decision on every single time that you go to make one. You don't have to be held down by previous beliefs or past thoughts. You can say, oh, this is a different chance, and I just get the opportunity to do the next right thing. I've heard that a lot from someone that I watch called John Deloney. I'll put his channel right here. Doing the next right decision, the next right thing. I think that's a big skill that you can learn. So I guess that kind of hit me on the spot. So thank you, Liz, for that question. Doing the next right thing. I think that's a great thing. All right, one of my friends, David, he asked the question, pound for pound, who has the most world-class players that have come from their club? Tottenham Hotspurs or Manchester City? Listen, he's a Tottenham fan. We have to forgive him. I'm a City fan. That's why he asked that question. And I honestly, after he and I talked about it yesterday, it's closer than you may think. You would just hear City and think, oh yeah, duh. Obviously, they have more of the world-class players. But I mean, Tottenham's got. I was about to say Luka Doncic. They had Luka Modric. They had Bale, Christian Eriksen, Harry Kane, Vertonghen, Alderweireld. But I think the two that stick out the most are three: Bale, Harry Kane, and Luka Modric. That's a good couple players. Heung-min Son, like a lot of great choices. But then when you think about City, like KDB, obviously up there, Aguero for sure. I argued Vincent Kompany, one of the best defenders in the world, for a good little stretch when we had him. I think you can already put Haaland up there. That's a shoe-in. He's going to be a dominating force in football for the next 10-12 years. David Silva. I think you could put Phil Foden in there eventually. But I'd say KDB is probably our biggest example, and then of course like the Aguero goal. Aguero! That's just too iconic to leave him out. Maybe Fernandinho? No, couldn't be. Surely. I'm going to be biased here. I'm going to say City has a better... I'd say if you give us a starting 11, we'd have a better starting 11 all time versus Tottenham's all time starting 11. But Tottenham is not too far behind. Like they've done a thing. They've done a thing. They've done a thing. That's it. Just a thing. All right, and next, Wall.Pam63 asked the question: are you doing any lore series after the debt-free, or she meant to say license plate series? I'm wondering what's next. Thank you so much for the question. Yeah, so as far as lore series, I definitely want to keep up doing some things like this that are like IRL stuff, like doing a little bit more live vlogging. I might throw it in with a Q&A every once in a while just to have a reason to do it, but I love doing this. This is going to be really fun. I'm excited to see how this turns out. After I do the debt-free, I mean, that could take months to finish the debt-free series. My idea, that's not really my idea, after this is to put money towards a house, to save up like 100 grand towards a house, just spitballing on that one. And then what I'm most excited about is after the license plate series, after I've rated all 50 of them, I'm going to be doing a March Madness style single elimination bracket off the top 32 that I rated them, and then I'm going to let you guys vote on which one actually had the better license plate. So you're going to decide who wins the March Madness style license plate, the Great State license plate playoff. So that's kind of what's right around the corner for the channel. So that's pretty exciting. Oh, and as far as the podcast, we have some really cool guests that are already booked and coming on. So yeah, stick around for some new Passion Projects guests. And then lastly, the last question that I got: how will you celebrate that 1,000 subscriber goal? And honestly, I'm celebrating by recording this for y'all. This is celebrating for me. Thank you so much to every single person that has subscribed. I mean, I was originally going to do 750, and the next day it became 1,000, and now we're already almost up to almost 1,500 subscribers in the next couple days. So this growth is just insane. And thank you guys so much for each of you that have subscribed and been a part of this channel and helping it grow recently. Like this is really cool, and it's going to be really big. I'm super excited for what's next. But yeah, that's all the questions I got. So thank you to everyone that sent in a question, and excited to share more content with you in the near future. If you've made it this far in the video, honestly, congratulations. Thank you so much for watching all this. Please subscribe to the channel and then join us for all any related videos. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you for the next podcast. Yeah, I'm going to leave you with an absolute dime of a jazz outro. You're welcome.